Is the LA eviction moratorium about to end? Yes and no. This guide for renters and landlords in LA City and LA County will explain exactly what is going on with the two different eviction moratoria. And make sure you stick around to the end where we'll explain why this is probably the last extension that we're gonna see. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We have been helping landlords and renters understand the eviction moratoria since the beginning, and we're here with one of the last updates for the emergency eviction protections in LA County and LA City. A few important points before we begin. Number one is we can't give tax or legal advice, but for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, subscribe to this channel. And number two, thanks for your patience. It means a lot to me that you want an update on the LA eviction moratoria, and I've had a lot of folks reaching out and asking, when are you gonna do that? Unfortunately, like all the other updates, I had to wait until the very last minute, and that's because the city council and the board of supervisors, they were making changes up until just about the very end. In fact, LA City voted twice to end the eviction moratorium, but they didn't release an ordinance. So we didn't actually know what that was going to look like until January 20th, and then finally Karen Bass signed that into law. And LA Board of Supervisors was still working on it and is still may have some changes to make. What is going on with the eviction moratoria? They were both slated to end, as you know, on January 31st, 2023. LA City is not going to be extending. They are ending their eviction moratoria at the end of January 2023. But don't walk away, LA City landlords and tenants. It is going to get interesting. LA County has extended their eviction moratorium until the end of March 2023. So a 2-month extension for LA County, with LA City ending at the end of January. Does that mean LA City will be out of the eviction moratorium? Well, the answer is no. Don't forget that LA City sits inside of LA County, just like this yolk inside an egg. So that means that LA City residents will be subject to the LA County eviction moratorium through the end of March 31st, 2023. So if you're ready to dive in and run through the new dates, hit that like button. And let's get started. Let's dive into the important dates. I pulled these from the resolution and ordinance, and it's very different for LA City and LA County, and they dovetail together, and I'm going to explain why. So let's start with LA City. So this is very important, and this is going to be part of future content. The just cause for eviction ordinance of the city of LA went into effect, or will be going into effect, on January 27th, 2023, and makes huge changes to LA, and I'm going to explain more about that in a bit. The last day of the LA City eviction moratorium is officially the end of January 2023, and as mentioned, they voted on this multiple times, but finally drafted the ordinance that reflects this. You have to pay attention if you're in LA City, and you have to start tracking things in LA County. The eviction for non-payment of rent has been going on as long as it isn't COVID related. Obviously, if it was COVID related, a tenant couldn't be evicted for non-payment. Theoretically, that could have started on February 1st, but it will then fall under the LA County eviction moratorium. So we're going to show you those dates next. LA City was not allowing owner move-in at all. LA County did and had specific rules, and I've done content on that. So as of February 1st, 2023, owner move-in will be possible in LA City for the first time in a long time, but you're going to have to jump through hoops that we will explain in future content. Then in April 1st is when the Ellis Act can be invoked. You can give a notice starting then. It's going to be a 60-day notice in some cases. If it's a person who's over 62, it's going to be a year notice essentially. So the Ellis Act has specific criteria that must be met for that. And then this is a big one, and this is different from LA City. If a landlord wants to evict for an unauthorized pet or person that moved in due to COVID, they have to wait until February 1st, 2024, so a year from the end of the LA City eviction moratorium. and they have to give a 30-day notice at that point in time before being allowed to evict for that. Moving into the LA County date. So LA County, as you know, extended the eviction moratorium through the end of March. So the last day of the LA County eviction moratorium is the end of March. This will be the first time that all of LA is under one eviction moratorium because they've all expired and local eviction moratorium in various cities are over. So this will be between February 1st and March 31st, the first time that LA is under one eviction moratorium. Crazy, I know. So April 1st, 2023 in LA County is when unauthorized pets or people, a landlord can move forward with that eviction after giving a 30-day notice to cure. So that's different from LA City, where LA City, they essentially get a full year to stay beyond the end. It's April 1st for LA County. In LA County, before moving forward with an eviction due to any back rent that accrued before the end of the moratorium, before the end of March 31st, a 30-day notice must be given starting, obviously, April 1st. Eviction for non-payment of rent will start April 1st, 2023 in LA County and all of LA, and that's whether it's COVID related or not. So if rent is missed on April 1st, 2023, there's nothing as of right now that a tenant can do to protect themselves. They can't say it's COVID related to be protected. So that is when the protections for non-payment of rent will be lifted if nothing changes. And then another interesting one is the all no-fault evictions. So after the moratorium ends, April 1st, theoretically, no-fault evictions for non-RSO properties will be able to move forward. This is an interesting loophole. If a tenant paid their rent all through COVID and didn't actually use any of the renter protections in the eviction moratorium, they can be evicted through a no-fault termination of tenancy. But if a tenant did take advantage of the protections, if they didn't pay rent, they can't be evicted through a no-fault eviction. Now, this is an interesting loophole. Like I said, I am very sure, based on what we've seen in LA City for permanent renter protections, that LA County is going to adopt permanent renter protections that close this loophole, but just wanted to make you aware of an interesting loophole that if you paid your rent as a tenant all through COVID, that you could theoretically fall under a no-fault eviction when it's done. This is the best resource for information about the LA County eviction moratorium. Besides my real estate channel where I run through these videos, you can visit this website. And LA County residents, this isn't new to you, but LA City residents, this is where you'll go when the LA City eviction moratorium is over. And this website has not yet been updated. They've done a great job making updates. It's just, as of right now, they haven't updated for the Board of Supervisors vote on the 24th. So right here, it says coming soon in several different sections. This is where you're going to go through. You can download the frequently asked questions. Also, very importantly, you're going to download the self-certification forms that are required in LA County. So note that, you folks from LA City, this will be new to you. Now, don't forget, and this will be on the self-certification form when that is updated, you'll be able to come here and get it. And this is, again, new for LA City residents, that in order to essentially use COVID as an affirmative defense, you have to have a hardship from COVID, obviously. And this is for any rent that will be owed up until March 31st, 2023. You have to meet an 80% of area median income or lower threshold. So your income has to be at 80% of the area median income or lower in order to qualify. In addition to meeting the area median income threshold, you will also have to demonstrate that you've experienced a substantial loss of monthly household income of at least 10% and or increased unreimbursed household costs of 7.5% or more in order to qualify for the protections under the LA County eviction moratorium. And again, the self-certification form will have that on there. Another important thing in the LA County resolution is that there are going to be funds set aside to help with back rent. And it's not much money, unfortunately. It's only a drop in the bucket, but $5 million has been allocated. $2 million goes to Stay Housed LA for rent relief. $3 million goes to a new program called the Non-Mortgage Small Landlord Assistance Program. It is a very narrow audience for these funds, unfortunately. It is only for mom and pop landlords, so smaller landlords, and it is only for those landlords that do not have a mortgage. And unfortunately, if you have a mortgage and you're behind on payments and you're close to foreclosure, this program can't help you. And it allows up to $30,000 given to the landlord. So if everybody uses the max, the $30,000 max, that means 100 landlords are going to be taken care of. And that means 100 tenants are going to be taken care of. Because when the landlord receives his payment, they forgive any other rent that's due. So this is helping both sides, but it's only going to help 100 out there. They are working on an additional program that will be called the Rent Relief Program that hopefully will expand who is eligible and expand the amount of funds. I heard $45 million as a dollar amount that was discussed, and that would certainly go much farther than the 5 that's currently been allocated. So hopefully we will see those funds coming soon to help landlords and tenants. So why do I think this is the last extension for the LA County Eviction Moratorium? Well, there's a simple answer. The eviction moratoria that we had were emergency renter protections. Now that COVID is coming to an end, at least as far as the emergency protections, that means it's time to end those emergency renter protections. What LA City has done is they have ended their emergency renter protections and they've put in place permanent renter protections. And that's what we predict that LA County is going to do before the end of the LA County Eviction Moratorium on March 31st. They will put in place more permanent renter protections. So as I showed you on the dates, as of January 27th, 2023, there are new renter protections in place, but there's more that LA City is going to be adding. The day this video is released, they are going to be discussing protections for minimum amounts before a landlord can move forward with an eviction. And additionally, relocation assistance in the event that a landlord increases rent above a certain threshold and the tenant decides to move, that landlord's gonna have to pay money to the tenant. So LA City is already working to replace the emergency renter protections with permanent renter protections, and we expect this to happen for LA County. Make sure you tune in because we're gonna be doing a deep dive into the LA City renter protections so that LA City landlords and tenants know those regulations. Lots of changes in LA City and LA County. We ran through it quickly. Leave your questions and comments below. Another thing I'd like to know from you, I'm starting to do more live streams. Would it be helpful to do a live stream so that I can answer your questions about LA City and LA County? Let me know if you'd like that and we'll get that scheduled. If you found this helpful, please make sure you share it with somebody else who needs to hear this information. And subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter so any updates on LA City, LA County, market updates, and a whole lot more will come right to your email inbox. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.